Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Slomka. I'm one of the sociology teachers here at Stony Creek High School, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the elective course sociology. Sociology is an elective course, and it doesn't require any prerequisites, so you can take it anywhere, any year you want. Typically, it's taken by a 10th grader, 11th grader, or a 12th grader, and so it's a really great course to take, and you can enjoy it at any point in your high school career. Sociology in general is going to be the study and the investigation of social life. It's a deeper look into the causes and the consequences of social behavior. So what we're doing is we're talking about big groups of people or small groups of people, but never an individual person all on their own. And so that's a little bit different, but it is also very, very important. It's a helpful skill, and it's going to really benefit you to kind of understand because we're talking about groups of people, our topics are a little bit interesting as well. So if you take a look, what we're doing is we've got a couple of topics picked out here for you. We've got crime and deviance, culture and diversity, society's secret rules, gender roles and stereotypes, race and ethnicity, wealth and power, and of course, pop culture. Now, if you're looking at that list and you're wondering about it and you're thinking to yourself, those things happen to me or those things happen to my family, I agree, but they also are happening to a whole lot of people all at the exact same time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn about how the things that happen to you are also the same as some of the things that happen to other people around you, and they also how they can be different from the way that they happen to other people around you. Something that shows up a lot of times is that people are always interested in maybe should I take sociology or should I take psychology? And so if you take a look at this Venn diagram that we have with the blue and the red circles, what you can see is that sociology and psychology definitely have some overlap. So if you're confused or unsure about which one to take, I want you to know that we'll definitely be talking about some psychology when we're in sociology class. And when you're in psychology class, you will talk about some sociology as well. Because of that, I've had plenty of students who have taken both courses and they really appreciated being able to see it in both different kinds of light because it was kind of the same, but also slightly different. I also want to point out some of the kind of strengths of sociology as well. So if you look at the other picture that we have here, the circle with the purple words and the black words and the gray words, I want you to notice that the biggest ring, that outer ring right there, is sociology, but also some of its more close relatives like economics, politics, and anthropology. So if you're interested in any of those topics, sociology is going to be your better bet. Specifically economics or politics. So if you're interested in politics or government, sociology is going to be the best choice for you. If you go a little bit deeper, you can see things like human geography and environment, business and management, international relationships, media studies, gender and sexuality. These are all sociological topics. Then if you go a little bit deeper than that, you can see that gray ring finally includes psychology. So there's lots and lots of really amazing stuff that doesn't have to do with psychology, and we're going to spend time talking about all of them. Some of them, once again, are a little bit interesting and strange. When we talk about those topics, it's going to be easier to do it in a sociology class because we're going to be giving you some tools that are going to help you kind of discuss some of those things that are maybe a little bit more sensitive or a little bit more exotic. This is one of my favorite parts about sociology. If you take a look at that picture on the left, what we have right here is we've got this picture of this dragon, and it almost seems like it's magic. And if you witnessed it for the very first time, it would be hard for you to describe what was going on. And it would almost seem like it was some sort of magical thing. And you say, I don't know, it's just magic. But what we do in sociology class is when those confusing or strange things happen and you're just not quite sure why they happened, in sociology class, we use different perspectives in order to kind of break it down and explain it better so that your understanding quadruples. It just goes up a whole lot. So if you take a look at that picture on the right, you're going to see that it wasn't magic at all. The way that the dragon works is that the dragon's kind of inside out. He's not a 3D dragon, but rather an inside out dragon. And you can see that from those different perspectives that we have right there. That's what sociology does for you. So if you're ever confused or you're just kind of offended by the things that are happening in your life, sociology will help you understand those. And so you can kind of avoid those same kinds of pitfalls in the future. Society is always a dynamic and changing thing. And so if you're one of those people who's interested in what's happening to society and how it's changing and growing, especially if you're wondering about or you're fearful about the way that it's changing or growing, sociology is the course for you. If you watch shows like Black Mirror and you're wondering about what kind of dystopia we're falling into, or if you see news articles like this, where it almost seems like the future is kind of coming true. This is an article from last week when Madison Square Garden was found to be using facial recognition information technology in order to ban and blacklist its enemies, not because they were dangerous people or because they were nasty people, but just because the owner of Madison Square Gardens just didn't like them. And so these are the kinds of topics that we talk about in sociology all the time. We don't just talk about things that happened 100 years ago. We are constantly talking about things that happened last week or even that very day. I've had plenty of discussions with my sociology students about things that are confusing or strange, but happened only hours ago. That leads me to this next slide right here. When we're in sociology class, we talk about the things that students are interested in. I want you to learn about the things that you like, and I want you to spend time with those things. And I want you to do that in class, in my classroom, not somewhere else, not huddled behind a laptop in your own bedroom at 2 a.m. So if you take a look right here, what we've got is we've got a number of different student projects that have happened in sociology class, and notice how different they are. If you like true crime, if you're interested in cults or the occult, we can spend time talking about that in sociology. If you're into pop culture and fashion and trends, we spend time talking about that in sociology. If you're interested in conspiracy theories, then we can spend time talking about those. And if you like sports, we're going to spend time talking about sports as well. All of these different things come together because they all involve groups of people. And so sociology is the perfect place to discuss those things. It is amazing to hear students come up with these different ideas and to show their expertise. And so I love learning from you guys just as much as I love sharing some of my own personal expertise as well. And so I would love it if we talked about your favorite thing in class as well. And lastly, when you take a sociology class, I really think that you gain a superpower. And this is something that if you take a course with me, you're going to hear me say a whole bunch of times. It's true that if you want, you can keep on taking sociology classes and become a sociologist. But really, I would love it if everybody took a sociology class, because what you do is you get this superpower-like understanding of the groups of people that are around you. And so once again, you can avoid some of those surprising situations or those situations that might make you feel angry or confused or uncomfortable. And you can use your sociology skills and powers in order to kind of navigate the world that you're in. Right now, when you're walking down the halls of Stony Creek High School, or if you're walking in the halls of your own personal house, I bet you feel like you're an expert, and you probably are. And that's because you already are kind of your own personal sociologist. But in the near future, I'm pretty sure you're going to be going off into some new places, like maybe going off to college or starting your career or joining the armed forces. And when you're in those new situations, you might need some new tools that are going to help you deal with them. And so sociology is going to give you those tools. You can use the things you learn in sociology on a daily basis. Once again, this is not 100-year-old stuff. This is stuff that is happening and changing in our lives on a daily basis. And I would love to be there with you while those changes happen. If any of this seems enticing to you and you want to talk to me about it, or if you've got some questions about it, please reach out to me. Here's my email address right here. I'd love to talk to you about them as well. There are a number of other sociology teachers here at Stony Creek High School as well, and they would be happy to talk to you about them as well. So if you want to reach out to one of them, that would be great as well. Let's all have a whole bunch of fun next year. Let's take sociology.